Act 2. Settlement. Chronicles of the Settlement. Unknown author. Listen, noble children, for this is how our world began. 23 months in the warp they sailed, buffeted by storms of unreality, fearing demons, praying to the throne, and saints for deliverance. 7 months they lived on half rations. They exited the warp on St. Madrigal's Day, praying to the blessed Madrigal and the God Emperor for safe harbor. And yeah, before them was the planet, with its deep oceans and rich soil, an empty world, untouched by the hated Xenos. A planet clean, new, and empty, made safe and abundant for human habitation through the will of the most magnanimous God Emperor. In thanks to the saint, they christened it Madrigal's Deliverance. However, 67 years after settlement, the first settlers received an astropathic dispatch that this application for planetary christening had been denied, for 19 other settled worlds had already been registered under variations of that name. They called the world Serenade, or it sang to them. Chapter 1. Solemnness. 7,036 years until the next Asterium opening. Trezene had just finished building the Horus Heresy Gallery. It was the last gallery to be made, the greatest and largest, his masterpiece. He had missed the battle on Istvan V. There were many artifacts unrecovered and a lot of MIA Space Marines. Istvan V was weird as fuck, he thought. And these MIA spacemen, they were missing to the Imperium, but not to Trezene. He knew exactly where they were, right down to the pose and position. The Salamanders. He wasn't that interested in humans, but he wanted to 100% the game, with all achievements. He didn't like their universal destruction of civilization, and the Emperor was boring. But the Heresy changed that. Drama, betrayal, struggle. Macragge wasn't too far from solemnness either. Horus's body was being venerated in the Eye of Terror, and the Emperor's body was sitting on Terror, rotting. He would do a much better job at preservation and restoration. He heard something. He saw something move. Sanet? Sanet identify? He sighed. Come out, coward. Ori appeared. He was in his astral form. Hail Traz, bud. Give me the cube, or I'll destroy your shit again. I'll only take it back again, Trezene replied. And Ori said, actually, I think not. Traz grabs a sword from next to him, grabbed the Fenrisian blade on display next to him, and slashed Ori's face. Slash, slash, slash. They fight, but Trezene's fancy sword keeps harming Ori, even in his astral form. I will burn your oculars. Okay. And he just kind of... and then he kind of disappears. But then, his astral hand comes out of the floor and just kind of yoinks the cube. Yoink. Serenade. 5,821 years until the next Asterium opening. Ori was hungry. He considered his transcended form his true form. Study, meditation, experimentation, trance, but not the music. He was an astrology girly now. Vega rising on the domicile of Thusula the Cryptic, Caspes the Pharaon in opposition to the Hydra's teeth, the Master Star Rhaegar transisting on the 11th house in retrograde. That's how he sounds as an astrology girly. He'd even made an Excel sheet. With the right celestial alignment, he could become a very powerful wizard, but still an astrology girly. His expedition to Solemnness made him a ghost, not a god. He'd studied the mysterious in orbit over Serenade. He made a bubble to be a terrarium for the dodecahedron. It seemed to like it here. He had created an imaginary Vishani also, who helped him solve the puzzles. He wasn't going mad, he thought to himself. He saw her sometimes, but was afraid looking at her would make her vanish. Awooga! His eyes did the cartoon eyeball thing when they see someone they like. Her body was masterfully astro-engineered. A palace built of knowledge. A long cranium with cable headdress. Cables plugged into a data bank behind. Legs removed. A great lobster-like tail of engram blades and logic tablets. 10 crab legs. He's here, she told him. One of the cryptex wasn't doing its job. Trezene, he grabbed it and said, Traz, you stupid. And then from behind him, by the window, by the dodecahedron, No, I'm not, said Traz, from the window with the dodecahedron. They stared at each other for a second. Okay, see ya. And then Traz tried to leave. But it didn't work, and he didn't leave. And Ori said, you're a bad guest, Traz. And Traz says, no, I'm the best. I brought gifts. And he had dropped the dodecahedron, and it had fallen to the floor. And it had opened, and there were now lots of little bugs nibbling at Ori, sorry. And then Trazine said, okay, see ya. He had the real mysterious. There was a note. Greetings, Ori bud. Soz borrowing back my box. Have a break and hunt some bugs. They're from a jungle, highly venomous, and breed like nothing else, so you should start ASAP, Rocky. Lots of love, Trazzy. Heart, XOXO. Serenade. 2007 years until the next Astarium opening. The Eldari were gone. Poof. The world spirit was destroyed, and a ruined webway portal. The Exodites were refugees, fleeing a thirsty god, but decided the planet was not safe anymore, so they left. He had humans for talking to, who didn't know the Exodites had even been there. They thought the Emperor had made the structures for them. For example, the Chapel of St. Eustace was an Eldari sewage processing station. The destroyers that Ori had brunged had killed all the living things. Eldar, dinos, bugs, plant. There were 21 destroyers. In the 4.5 hundo years, they scoured 2,000 of the 10,000 islands on the archipelago. Occasionally a human or Eldar would kill one. 12 made it to the mainland, which was now a full ecological collapse because of it. He tracked them from clues from ghost stories of metal men by humans. One legless, dragging itself across a desert, he killed. And then he found 3 more. Who the heck are you? Said Traz. I am Lord Ketva of Locust. All life must end, including ours. To cease to exist is a happy fate. Well, stop that. I'm an overlord. Come with me. Now we're good here, bud. We're gonna go to the pole. It'll desalinate the oceans, killing the stuff that makes the oxygen. It'll only take 2 millennia rather than 6 to sour the planet. Trazine just says, no. And he throws an obliterator at them. A big cone of light catches the destroyers, making them look black and white, and then, like Lego, into a box. A fine addition to my collection. The Destroyer Lord who nearly wiped out a planet. And Trazine goes home to the solemnness. He needed a new security solution. He was moving the Mysterious in various random locations in the prismatic galleries. There were new acquisitions next to old ones, there was no order to the display. This was messing with Oricon's time stuff. This is why he did it. In retrospect, it was a bad idea putting it in the Angelus display. The stasis field had failed. The orcs were loose and fighting each other. Trucks and buggies were zooming across the display of a shanty town built around an idol of Gork, or Mork. He hadn't quite worked out which it was. Oi! Shiny git! A knob started shooting Trazine. Traz bashed the ground, and the truck went flying, sending little guys everywhere. Woo, woo. He walks forward, stomping the little annoying gits under his feet. Stomp, 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 stomp. This was one of the bigger displays. It took him 50 years to arrange. He hoped to salvage it. Sanit, restore stasis fields, faster. The Orc rocket had started taking off. Next time I store an engine, I'm displaying it without fuel. He rolled his eyes, if he had any. Then he saw it. Enhance, he told his eyebrows. Eyebrows? His eyebrows! He told his eyeballs. Standing in Gork and Mork's eye socket was Oricon, holding the Mysterious. Trazine had to make a choice. Save the gallery or the Mysterious. Not both. A gantry fell and crushed parts of the shanty town. 20 seconds till rocket launch. 15. Oricon disappeared. Trazine made his way to the rocket. Stomp, 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 stomp. He had to climb up a building and then he got into the rocket. 11 seconds. Inside the rocket. There was a drum-like deck with tables and chairs and random machinery hung from the ceiling. And a command throne with 2 buttons, stop and go. He killed a big orc and waded through lots of little ones again. 6 seconds. A mech boy shot and stunned him for a second, but he redirected the energy back, killing the mech boy. 4 seconds. The mega knob in the control throne. It was the biggest one that he could find to make his display insane. It had a giant power claw that bent Trazine and broke his arm. This is the Mega Knob. And his arm spurted hydraulic fluid in the Mega Knob's eyes, and he's like, Meh. 1 second. Trazine grabbed the Mega Knob's head and slammed it down into the stop button with its horns. And everyone clapped. The stasis field was re-enabled. Mandragora! 897 years until the Astarian opening. Ori is just having a nice time in his little tower. And a portal appeared. And a death mask assassin stepped out in front of him. But it was actually Trazine. Really? An assassin? Boom. Right in the ocular. I don't even have the mysterious, said Ori. And Trazine said, you can keep it, and spat on him. And then he went back into the hyperspace oubliette. And Ori has to phase out to reanimate somewhere else. And that's the end of chapter 1. Thank you. Like and subscribe.